sure to check out Agelessgeeks for your figures and collectibles. This video and YouTube channel is rated PG-13, so that means this channel is not for anyone under the age of 13. So what is going on, my fellow collectors? How is everybody doing today? Daredevil18 here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Mezco Toyz 112 Collective Gambit. So let's get into it right away and take a quick look at the box. So as you can see here, we do of course get the basic style box when it comes to Mezco's regular releases. So on the slipcover here on the top does say Gambit. We do get the X-Men X symbol on the center. On the bottom says 112 Collective Post-Play Display and Marvel. And then here is the bottom of the actual box. We do get the warning and blah 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 stuff nobody cares about. Then here's the top of the box. And then the sides of the slipcover here. And then the back of the slipcover has some really nice promo images of the figure along with all of the awesome accessories Remy LeBeau is included with. Then you can remove the slipcover. And then we do have the window here displaying the figure and the accessories. The sides of the box says 112 Collective. Then the back we do get the giant Gomez Mezco Toyz logo. But anyway, that is the packaging. Let's get this figure to take a closer look at one of my most anticipated figures of 2020, which also happens to be my favorite X-Men and Marvel character. Alrighty, taking a closer detailed look at Remy LeBeau here, and Mezco killed it, man. They did a sick job with this figure, and this is most likely going to make my favorite figures of 2020 list. They really did an awesome job with Gambit. The face sculpts look like a Gambit to me. You know, he has that like gritty type look to him. I like when Gambit has the longer hair better. To me, that's Gambit. I don't really like the shorter hair better. The hair sculpt looks dope, man. They did a great job with the hair sculpt. Really like the way that turned out, and it looks like there's a little bit of a dry brush of like a lighter brown mixed in with a darker brown, and it looks really nice, man. So really dope job with the hair there. His black semi-mask looks pretty good. The paint's very clean where the black meets the skin tone. I like how we have the stubble there, or 5 o'clock shadow. That looks really good. And then the eyebrows painted nice and clean, and then we get his red eyes, which look awesome, man. Really cool looking. That's something else I always really liked about Gambit. He has cool looking red eyes. And then the neck does have some nice sculpt detail to it, as you can see there. And then before we go over the torso, I'm just going to show the jacket, then I'll remove it. That's another cool thing about the figure. When you make a Gambit figure, you have to give him a cloth trench coat, and you have to be able to remove it as well. But the trench coat, I dig it, man. I definitely dig it. I do like the one a little bit better that I have on my custom Marvel Legends Gambit, but this one does look really nice. I like this added fabric that they added here and on the inside of the collar. I really like the way that looks. And the stitching's pretty good too. Very clean stitching all throughout it. And he does have like a leathery type trench coat here. And I do like how they added this strap here with the buckle. I wish they added bendy wire in it. That I definitely do prefer, but I'm glad they added like a real buckle on it, and the strap is definitely pretty cool. We have the fake pockets there, which look fine. And we do have bendy wire on the collar on the top, and then we have bendy wire running down the sides of the coat as well. There's no bendy wire in the back pieces. I wish they added it at least here, or maybe on the bottom as well. I think here definitely would have been good, but the jacket definitely turned out dope, man. Now let's remove it and take a look at the rest of the figure. Oh yeah, we also get some nice lining on the inside of the coat as well. This is a really well-tailored 1/12 scale trench coat. And then for the torso here, we get this beautifully sculpted and painted armor. Really dig the way that turned out, and I love like the silver bolts on the side there. I thought I had paint that chipped off. I was like, oh man, and then I realized it was like tiny little bolts on there. Really dig the way that looks. I like the added black pieces throughout it as well. The X symbol looks dope. Looks like we have a couple pouches on the side there as well. And I like the piece around the neck. I think that looks pretty cool. It's not just an all matte black. There's some glossy black lines all throughout it, and it looks really cool. And then the blue on the edges look pretty dope too. And then the back of the armor also looks really sick. I mean, my only main complaint about this figure is that the armor here does restrict his torso articulation, which is, I believe, the biggest issue most people do have with the figure. I mean, we all noticed it in the promo pics, but even though it restricts his torso movement, it's still a dope figure, man. The sleeves look great. I like the little design up on the shoulder, around the bicep. I like how there's pink added around the forearm. And then I do like these wristbands around his wrists. Gets the straps and buckles there, which look pretty cool. And then for the pants there, we do get a similar like design that's on the arms throughout the pants as well, which look pretty cool. And I love the pink lines on the side. And his cloth clothing is like an elastic type fabric, which is definitely good, I think, when it comes to Mezco One 12 figures, because then you can articulate the figures much better. And the stitching on the cloth clothing also turned out really nice. And then we do get the armor on his lower legs, on the knees there, and then the lower legs. And I do like that color blue that they used as well. And then the feet there. Some of it is that armory, shiny blue color, and then some of it's more of like that matte blue. And the paint's pretty clean on it as well. And then the bottom of them, we get some really cool sculpted treads and a couple peg holes. So overall, I think Mezco did a freaking awesome job with this Gambit, and this is definitely a Gambit figure I have been waiting for Mezco to make, and they definitely did deliver when it comes to the paint and sculpt along with the cloth clothing. But anyway, let's continue on. Moving on to the accessories, Gambit is included with some really cool stuff. So what we do get first and foremost, we do get the Mezco bag, of course, in case you would like to store your accessories in there. And then we do get the basic Mezco 112 stand here. So we do have the X symbol on it, which looks pretty cool. I like the blue on the outside and the yellow in the middle. And then we do get the arm in case you would like to make the stand. We do have the clamp as well. And there's a peg on there in case you want to peg the figure on the base there. So we do get that stuff. And then, as we already went over, I'm going to include this as an accessory because you can remove it, but it does come on the figure out of the packaging. So his trench coat, I feel like, is another accessory. So we do get that stuff, and then we do get 2 interchangeable head sculpts. And starting on the left there, we do get the basic stern face, which is the one that does come on the figure out of the packaging, which we already took a look at, and they did do a fantastic job with that face sculpt. Then we do get the smirking type face sculpt on the right, which is definitely a perfect facial expression for Gambit. One thing, though, this is my other minor complaint, is I wish we got like an angry teeth gritted face or an angry yelling screaming face. I really wish they included that as well with the figure. But both head sculpts executed extremely well, man. The stubble is very realistic looking, but real clean paintwork throughout both faces and just excellent sculpt work as well. And they are very simple to swap out. I'll show you how to do that right now quickly. And swapping the head sculpts for Gambit is very basic when it comes to a Mezco 112 figure. So just pull up on the head sculpt, it pops right off the ball peg, take the other one, push down on the joint, and then there you go. As simple as that to swap the head sculpts. So we do get the 2 interchangeable head sculpts. And then we also get his bow staff, and then we do get some regular cards, one that's by itself, and then we do have another with like 5 cards. Then we do get the same type of cards, but using his kinetic energy, and then we do get a beautiful kinetic energy throwing cards effect, which has a hand connected to it. So we do get the bow staff here, which is pretty cool. I mean, it's just a bow staff, you know what I mean? But I think they did a pretty good job with it, and he does grip onto it perfectly fine. So we do get that, and then we do get the regular cards here. So we do have the set of 5 cards, and the paintwork on them look great on the bottom and top of the cards, as you can see right there. Then we do get the single card here, which also looks good. So we do get those. Then we do get the ones where he's using his kinetic energy. And the pink translucent plastic for the kinetic energy, the way the light hits it, it looks like it's lit up, you know what I mean? But beautiful sculpt detail throughout that, as you can see there. And then same with the single card, that looks pretty dope too. So we do get those. Then we do get my favorite accessory, which is the throwing cards kinetic energy effect, and this thing looks so damn sick, man. You can remove this hand, and it's just one of his open palm type hands, but this thing looks so dope, man. And it is a softer rubbery type plastic, but just love the sculpt detail of the kinetic energy. You can see all the cards getting thrown right there, and I like the way it looks around his hand. You can see his fingers sticking out in some spots. I think that looks pretty cool. So really dope kinetic energy effects there, man. So we do get all that awesome stuff. And then we finally get 8 alternate hands. Then starting on the top right here, we do get a pair of fists, of course, which do come on the figure out of the packaging. Then we do get a pair of gripping hands, which are meant for him to grip onto his bow staff. Then we do get some open palm type hands. Then we do get 2 left hands, so we do have a left gripping hand, which is meant for him to grip onto his regular cards or the kinetic energy cards. And then we do get a left card throwing hand with the kinetic energy, and you can see the card at the end as well. And like I said, I just love the way the kinetic energy looks with that pink translucent plastic. And we get some beautiful sculpt and paint detail throughout all 8 hands, and they are very simple to swap out. And like what Daredevil 19 always says, that is a good thing because you don't want to risk breaking a wrist joint on your new Mezco GAMBIT figure. But anyway, that is all the awesome accessories included with GAMBIT. Let's keep moving on with the rest of the review, shall we? Now for the height of the Ragin' Cajun, to the very top of his head, it looks like he's about 6.5 inches tall. Then to the very top of his crazy looking hair, he's around 6 inches and 3/4 of an inch tall. And then here he is compared to the Mezco 112 Magneto and Logan, and then we have the Marvel Legends Gambit and the Mafex comic version Cyclops. And definitely liking the way this Gambit scales with these other X-Men Mezco figures, and he does scale well with the Mafex Cyclops as well, because Gambit is a taller character. I believe he's a little over 6 feet tall. And then here he is compared to the Mafex comic version Deadpool and comic version Wolverine, and we have the Marvel Legends Bishop and the 2-pack Juggernaut. And I think you could fit Gambit in with these comic version X-Men Mafex figures, and he scales pretty well with the Marvel Legends also. And then here he is compared to the Storm Collectibles Sector, the Marvel Legends Retro Series Deadpool, the Mafex Justice League Batman, and the Figma Black Swordsman Guts. And then here he is compared to the SH Figuarts Awakened Warrior Super Saiyan Goku and the Mezco 112 Deadpool. Anyway, there's some quick comparisons. Let's keep moving on with the rest of the review. So now for Gambit's articulation, and when you have the trench coat on, it doesn't really restrict too much of his shoulder or arm articulation. I mean, it does slightly, but it's not too bad, you know what I mean? So we do get 2 joints at the neck here. With both joints, you can get Gambit to look up really well, and both joints looks down pretty good too. You do get pivot at both joints, and you get excellent pivot combining both those joints there, and then both joints do swivel as well, so excellent head and neck articulation. We would have a torso joint, but as I mentioned before, it does get restricted by the armor. I mean, you can try to force it, and it might move a little bit, but it's kind of hard to tell. You're mostly going to get the torso movement at the waist there, and it looks like this is splitting apart, and I don't think it's supposed to be. No, it's not. That's not good. I guess I'm going to have to glue that or something. You do get a little bit of pivot, and then it does swivel slightly as well. Well, swivel is pretty good, actually, so you're really not going to get too much torso or waist movement with this figure here. Now, the arms here, we do have a butterfly joint there, which moves a little bit, as you can see. The arm actually moves a little bit in a circular motion at the shoulder, not too much though. And then the arms do go out to the sides, a bit more than 90 degrees, so that's definitely good. They do go up and down. True bicep swivel. Double jointed elbows that almost bend in all the way. Then we do have a ball hinge on the wrist, so that does swivel on hinges back and forth. Now for the legs here, Remy LeBeau can kick forward about 90 degrees, maybe a tad bit more. Doesn't really go to the back too much. Let's see if he can. Jean-Claude Van Damme it, and Gambit definitely can Van Damme it, so good for his kicking type moves. Then we do get a great upper thigh swivel. Double jointed knees that bend back all the way, so that is definitely dope. Then for the ankles, they do swivel. They hinge up a little bit, hinge down a tiny bit, and then the ankle pivot is pretty damn good on this figure, actually. Probably some of the best ankle pivot I've seen on a Mezco 112 figure. So overall, the articulation is really good on this Gambit, but as I mentioned a couple times already, you do get restricted torso, mainly torso movement, and you don't get the best waist movement, so If you're going to buy this figure, just know that you're not really going to get movement out of the torso there because of the armor. But the armor is sick as hell looking, so I wish we did get movement up there, but this is a sick figure, man. And you'll be able to get him in some pretty damn cool Ragin' Cajun-like poses. And I'm about to show you some of those poses right about now. But anyway, that is my review of the Mezco 112 Collective Gambit. Hope you enjoyed it. If I had to rate this figure with detail, I'd easily give it a perfect 10. Articulation, I'd have to give it an even 8. Accessories, I'd give it an even 9. And then the overall quality, I would give a 9.5. If you would like to know the price and where to buy this figure, I did get mine at Agelessgeeks, so you can head over to their website at agelessgeeks.com. And when you check out, use code name Daredevil, and you will get yourself a bit of a discount. If you can't find something on their website, I do highly recommend going through their Instagram or Facebook page. I will put more information in the description below. And if you would like to support the channel, don't forget to subscribe and click on that notification bell. And if you liked it, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, oh well, I guess you didn't like it. But thanks for watching. I will see you later. So what is going on, my fellow collectors? How is everybody doing today? Got a piece of hair in my mouth, damn it. So as you can see here, we do get a regular releases. So on the slipcover here on the top to say Gambit, we get and Marvel. And then here's the bottom of the box. We get and let's get this figure up and take a closer look of 2020, which also happens to me be, looks like he's around 6. The Marvel Legends Gambit and the Maiwa Ukawana. A left gripping hand, which is meant for him to grip on to his... And swapping the head sculpts for Gambit is... blah, 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 blah.